Greetings, and welcome to CIBER Focus, your source for timely international business strategy. My name is Jimmy Betcher, and our guest today is Menasseh Portuphy. As a business analyst and executive, Menasseh played a key role in the formation of Kingsbridge Corporate Services Ltd. He holds a BA in Philosophy and Religions from the University of Ghana and an MBA from the University of Hull. Menasseh serves as the CEO of Kingsbridge. Menasseh, welcome.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about Kingsbridge?
Yeah, Kingsbridge is a microfinance company, let me say a financial NGO
Okay.
that has been in existence for about 4 years. Basically, what we do is we try to help small businesses to grow, and it is because in Ghana we have just about 80%, or let me say 20%, of Ghanaians being banked by the traditional banks.
Mm-hmm.
The remaining 80% are yet to be reached by these banks. So there's kind of a huge gap between the banked and the unbanked. Well, it all started when I was doing my thesis on the stock exchange. I was doing something on how Ghanaians are not going to the stock exchange to raise funds to grow their businesses. So we had just about 13 companies listed on the exchange. I try to compare that with that of the London Stock Exchange to find out why, even in London Stock Exchange, we had the aim, that is the alternative investment market, where smaller companies are also given the opportunity to list on the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of worried why a similar situation was not in Ghana, because Ghana is being run by small businesses anyway. So I kind of wondered why this was happening. So I realized most Ghanaians didn't want to lose ownership of their businesses, and also to continue their family businesses. You know, most businesses are family owned. So people just want to continue their family ownership of their businesses. And also, the banks were asking for too much from them. Most of them didn't have the collateral. Most of them didn't have all the necessary documents to file out for loans in the banks. So I kind of wondered what the alternative would be. So when I came back to Ghana, I was torn apart between working for a company in Ghana and starting a business. I didn't have any experience in any business at all.
Mm-hmm.
I thought if I could do anything on my own, I had to kind of get some experience from these companies so I can start on my own. By my partner, Raphael, kind of convinced me to stay tight and to see if we can do something on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of research and feasibility on microcredit lending in Ghana, and I realized it was kind of a huge opportunity for us. And so we started, and that is what we've been doing up to now. And again, looking at the capital we need to do this business is also something very difficult getting. So we had to kind of start on our own in a very small way in communities outside of Accra, where we have a lot of rural folks who need help. So having done a lot of voluntary work in those areas, I kind of had a feeling of how poverty was like in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately when the opportunity came, I had to go back there and start something.
Great,
Yeah.
great. You mentioned microfinance. For our viewers that don't understand microfinance or haven't heard of the concept, could you explain it a little bit more?
Yeah, microfinance is basically helping small businesses to grow by lending credit to them and also give them advice. It's normally on the small scale. It's like you come to the lower end of businesses, people who need just about, let's say, $100 or 100 Ghana cedis, as in Ghana, to start something going. And they don't really get this because they don't have the touch of the traditional banks. The 80% that are unbanked are basically small businesses, people who don't really don't have the confidence to reach out to these traditional banks. So what we do is we try to bridge that gap between small businesses and the bigger ones. So we kind of grow them from one stage to the other. Yeah. Once you are done with the first cycle of loans, we try to migrate you to a second cycle. And from a facility of about 100 Ghana cedis, you can go up to about 40,000 cedis.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Speaking a bit more broadly about business in Ghana, what do you see as the key challenges for business in Ghana?
I must say there's really a huge challenge. I remember when I was studying, I had to do a lot of research at the City of London, in a library in London, where occasionally there is a forum, just a forum to help anybody who wants to start business in London. So all the information you need about doing business in London is brought to bear. You have it at your fingertips. The IRS, the information you need about businesses in London is always available. But in Ghana, there's nothing like that. In fact, we had to do a lot of research on just how to get our company registered. And sometimes you go to one office to the other and you don't get the right people to talk to. And it's kind of take a lot of your time. And if you are not steadfast and if you are not persistent, you might give up on starting a business in Ghana. Yeah.
All right. If now you've spent some time in the UK, and this is your second visit, I think, to America. Do you have any advice for, let's say, an American or a person from the UK who might be interested in starting a business in Ghana or expanding their business in Ghana?
I must say the opportunities for doing business in Ghana is very huge. There are vast host of opportunities out there for anybody who wants to start something out there in Ghana. This is because currently, as we speak, our government and the people of Ghana are opening up for more opportunities and more investment, because we've realized that we cannot do it alone, even though there's a lot of opportunities out there. Now, for instance, if I want to talk about Kingsbridge, when we started, we realized that the demand for our products and services was just enormous. So we had to call in for individuals and investors who would want to invest into Kingsbridge for a return, of course. And even that, it is still enormous. So we are even looking out to the international market to see if we can get people to get on board.
Okay.
And there are lots and lots of other opportunities similar to what we are talking about at Kingsbridge. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're here at the Kelley School through the MBA Globase program.
Yeah.
How's the experience been working with student consultants?
It's been wonderful. I must say, I'm so thankful to Kelley School of Business, because looking at the kind of service and opportunities we are getting for Kingsbridge, I must say I might get that opportunity or service back in Ghana, but I might not be able to pay for it at the moment. Looking at how small we are and the fact that these students are coming with enormous experience and intellectual input into whatever we are doing out there at Kingsbridge. So I must say I'm so grateful to Kelley School of Business, and we look forward to a long-term relationship with the school.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Menasseh, thank you so much for your time, and I definitely hope that you really enjoy the rest of your stay here in Bloomington. And again, thanks for coming and joining us.
Thank you for having me as well.
Great. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you got some great advice. If you have topics that you'd like to discuss in future cyber focuses, please contact the Center for International Business Education and Research at the Kelley School of Business.